Welcome to Ripped from Reddit. I'm your host Daniel. What's an interesting NSFW fact? Warning: this video may contain mature content. If you're under the age of 12, please turn back. The clitoris is mostly internal. What we can see is just the head, like on a penis. It's shaped like a wishbone and it hugs the vaginal wall. It grows very slowly throughout a woman's life, internally, that is, which some theorize may be why some older women seem to enjoy sex more. It can reach, again, internally, 3 to 4 inches in length. Some scientists also theorize that the G-spot is adjacent to where the wishbone splits, just on the other side of the vaginal wall. It is suggested that, for women who don't seem to have a G-spot, they may simply have more distance, more tissue, between the two spots, so it's less sensitive. The more you know. Think kind of makes me wonder what would happen if it were possible to stimulate the whole thing. Either it would be ecstasy for her or massively overstimulating. Lesbian here, it's definitely possible. Stick 2 fingers in and try to touch her belly button and put that mouth to work. You're welcome. You owe me $20. Should have said, thanks for coming to my TED talk. A female ferret in heat will literally die if she doesn't have sex. Looks like I gotta go save some lives. Every day we stray further from God's light. A blue whale will ejaculate 80 gallons per shot. Apparently several men can lay down inside a whale's vagina. That would be an interesting experience. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have laid down in San Diego. I was dropping off a patient at an ER one time, and as soon as we walked into Backridge, a psych patient they were holding by the ambulance entrance shouted, "San Diego is the city of a whale's vagina." And I was very unprepared for this, and laughed very loudly, and the hospital staff did not like that I was laughing at this individual. Flatworms have 2 penises that they use to fight each other, called penis fencing. The winner stabs and inseminates the loser, who then becomes the female and carries the eggs. Imagine getting cock slapped so hard you become a chick. That's an interesting hentai plot, if I ever saw one. Yeah, I think I read a fan fiction about this. When Alois Alzheimer first presented his paper about the disease that would later be named after him, one of the most important papers in the history of medicine, no one asked him any follow-up questions or made any comments because they were all paying more attention to the next guy on the agenda, who was giving a talk about compulsive masturbation. Fun fact, there is a memorial sign in his hometown where it is written, "Alois Alzheimer, we will never forget you." Another fun fact, he has many descendants living in the US today. Out of any disorder in the DSM-V, erectile dysfunction has the highest rate for curability. If sperm were the size of goldfish, one ejaculation would fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. A gene pool, if you will. Lord Byron would keep pubic hair from woman he slept with as a souvenir. Thanks dear. May I take a lock of your hair to remember you by? After 6, male bees explodes their testicles and die. Whole new meaning to busting a nut. If your boss or ours told you that you can't discuss your pay, you can sue your company. Discussing salaries is protected under the National Labor Relations Act of 1935, USA. Truly NSFW. Edit. Can't spell basic words. So I worked at a McDonald's that had a rule specifically saying employees are not allowed to discuss their salary. I brought it up with my manager about how that was illegal, and she got a bit pissed and told me off. I left a week later, so I never really pushed the issue. Next time mention that if you had a large raise, you'd be too busy spending it to contact the labor board. A gorilla's penis is only 1.75 inches when erect. It's fun to tell guys they are hung like a gorilla. Humans actually have the largest penises among primates. Speak for yourself. The female sexual organ produces a fluid that contains a surprising amount of protein. So boys and girls who want to get ripped, in the immortal words of Dodger Cat, go to town. But how do I log this in MyFitnessPal? So it really is messy like a pizza? Joseph Goldberger proved that pellagra was a dietary deficiency and not an infectious disease. One of the ways he proved this was by eating the doo-doo of pellagra sufferers. He also conducted some clever, well-controlled experiments, but he also did in fact eat that doo-doo. If you are male and feel cold, but your balls are hanging down, you have a fever. Learned this the other day on here. Now that is some interesting shit there. Whales have one of the most massive penises on Earth. but are small in proportion. Male bottlenose dolphins tend to engage in same-sex relations early in life and use the bonds they form to hunt for females as they get older. Me and my uncle can really spot the cougars at a bar. Till we're bottlenose dolphins. The black widow spider eats her mate during of after sex. The hungry spider can eat as many as 20 lovers in one day. Rip Bruce Banner. You'd let her eat you. You know you would. I see this as an absolute win. According to the Kinsey Institute, the average speed of sperm during ejaculation is 28 miles per hour. My sperm would just beat out 2009 Usain Bolt. So it's illegal to shoot my load at school. I was trying to make fermented rice water for my hair and found out that if it over ferments, it really looks like cum. That a lot of the time sex, while on our period, will not only feel good, but will help relieve our cramping. I know it's not a lot of people's thing, but it helps a lot. Interesting fact, missionary is called missionary because a missionaries used it thinking it was more difficult to get a woman pregnant with her upside down forcing sperm to swim uphill to the uterus. Doggy style makes it like a slip and slide to get them into the uterus. Seriously, you can improve your chances of conception by changing up your position a bit. If he can get really deep, then he can finish much further up the vagina, which gives the sperm a much clearer run into the uterus. Back in the old days they used to think that sex standing up would avoid pregnancy and that you could change position to select the gender of your baby. Your mouth and your asshole is basically one long tube. So basically, the human body is just a big, weirdly shaped donut. We are a straw if used correctly. For human beings, the head of the penis is designed to be surrounded by mucous membrane. Skin that always stays wet. If it's inside a vagina or an anus or a mouth, it's surrounded by mucous membrane. If it's not involved in any sexual activity, the head of the penis is tucked inside foreskin, and the inner layer of foreskin is also mucous membrane. If you are circumcised, the head of your penis gets dried out and will develop extra layers of skin in order to protect itself. Like callous tradesman's hands. Delightful. It's hard to pee with a boner. Only if you want to pee in the toilet. If you aim at the ceiling is easier. Similarly, if you lean really far forward, you can pee slightly downward without much discomfort. Even if you're sitting on the toilet, just try not to touch the rim/bowl with your wang. In New Jersey and Rhode Island, incest is legal if they are not married to each other or underage. Most lizards and many snakes can change gender from stress or need. Here's one. Napoleon Bonaparte is buried in Paris, but his penis is in New Jersey. Most of my NSFW browsing is done at work. If you wanna last longer in bed, but not buy any Viagra, try masturbating about an hour before you intend on having sex. Or if you are unaware, but think you might have sex at some point, masturbate twice several hours before. This does take away some pleasure, but the fact you won't be so eager to finish early will help make the experience more enjoyable and long-lasting. Edit. Results may vary, or you can just come while you're making out with her before she wants to fuck. This way you can stay pure, just as our great Lord intended. Comment below your favorite NSFW fact.